Jai Hind everyone. Today's topic is relational calculus, in which we will study about tuple relational calculus. Otherwise, relational calculus is of two types: tuple relational calculus and domain relational calculus. Here we will study today about tuple relational calculus in database management system. Subject code for MCA KCA 204. Myself Deepthi Arora, Assistant Professor, MC Department, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So let's start with tuple relational calculus. So in formal relational query languages, we have two kinds of languages. First one is relational algebra and second one is relational calculus. Again, relational calculus is divided into two parts. First one is tuple relational calculus and second one is domain relational calculus. Now what it means? Tuple relational calculus, tuple we call about rows. We talk about rows in tuple, and in domain we talk about columns of a table. So relational calculus which is related to rows is known as tuple relational calculus, and the relational calculus which is related to columns is known as domain relational calculus. Means that in tuple relational calculus we try to fetch out the rows from a relation or a table, and in domain relational calculus we try to fetch out the columns directly. So in this video lecture I am talking about the tuple relational calculus. What is tuple and how we can fetch these tuples using a relational calculus query language. So tuple relational calculus is based on specifying a number of tuple variables. Means rows, you have to define number of rows. How many number of rows are there? According to the rows, you have to define the variables. You have to give a variable to a particular row so that you can fetch that row. Each tuple variable usually ranges over a particular database relation. That means each variable in a database ranges accordingly to the how much rows are there in a table or how much tuples are there in a database. Meaning that variable may take as its value any individual tuple from the relation. That means you have dedicated, means you are having number of rows are here. You have dedicated a variable r, suppose, to these rows. So the value of this r can be taken from any of these rows. It can be this row, it can be this row, it can be this, it can be this, it can be this. That means value of r depends upon the kind of row, the number of rows you want to fetch. So here is a syntax. T is a variable and condition is applied on this variable t. That is, t is a tuple variable and we are applying a condition on this tuple variable. So t here denotes that tuple t is in a relation R. Suppose we are having a relational database R and this is a table. Suppose we are having T1, T2, T3, T4. These are the rows here in this database. So we want to fetch these rows from a table upon a condition. What we will do, we will apply a variable t here so that we can fetch these rows. So by applying this t variable upon that condition t, the value of t will be based on these rows. It can opt from these rows depending upon the condition. What would be the condition? It will fetch that row accordingly. So t variable will take its value from the relation table. Example, see the example. Find the employees whose salary is above 10,000. So the condition is employees whose salary is above 10,000. So we applied, you are having number of rows here. T1, T2, T3, a relational database named employee. And here is some attribute, that is salary. Here it is salary 5,000, 10,000, 10,000, again 4,000. So it is saying find all the employees whose salary is above 10,000. So here it will initialize a variable t that will check what is the condition, salary above 10,000. So what will the value take? T will take the values. T will take the values of row T2 and T3. So what will be the condition here? T employee is a table for which you have to take this variable. So it will take T variable initialized and T dot salary. That means from this table you have to take T. You have named this table as T, and from that T you are taking the attribute salary. So T dot salary greater than 10,000, and you are fetching a tuple T here. Again I am telling you, you are having a relational table T here, employee table. You have named it as T. Now you are fetching the rows from which salary is greater than 10,000. So you are using this table T and its attribute salary. So we have named this T dot salary, and rows it will fetch greater than 10,000, and the value will come in this variable. Got it? Okay. Now you can see the second one. Find out the date of birth and address of employee whose name is Mahesh B. Kumar. So you all have to add the, so I am taking the eraser here. So you want to fetch date of birth and address of the employee. So what we are doing first, we are naming your table employee attribute. So we are having employee table. We have given a given a variable to this relation T, and I want to fetch, what I want to fetch? Date of birth and address. So from T table, T dot date of birth, T dot address I want to fetch. And what is the condition now? T dot first name is Mahesh, T dot middle name is B, and T dot I name last name is Kumar. So what you have to write? First you have to give your relation name, then from that relation name you have to fetch the condition, and you have to write the attributes here with this variable. So what we are doing in here, the information that we need to specify in TRC is, for each tuple variable T, range relation R of T. That means you have to specify for each variable what could be the range of relation in T, the condition to select, and the set of attributes to be retrieved. That means you have to give, suppose you have an employee table, you are giving a relation, a variable T. This is what this says, this statement states. Secondly, you have to give a condition based upon that T variable, and you have to fetch the set of attributes from that variable. So what could be the expression? Expression is the set of attributes you want to fetch. These can be number of attributes from T1 to Tn. And secondly, the condition that you want to apply from T1 to Tn plus M. Okay. The formula is made up of the predicate calculus atom, which can be one of the following. So what we want to know what are atoms. So atoms are the form of relational TI. That means you are fetching a table, and from that table you are fetching some amount of tuples or attributes. So this is known as atom. Atom is a form of relation table. That means employee table with the attribute, where R is a relation name, that means your table name, and TI is a tuple variable. This atom identifies the range of tuple variable TI as a relation whose name is R. That means if you are having an employee table here, so it will fetch all the variables, all the tuples who is having salary greater than 10,000 from a relation employee. So for making an atom, we have to write the condition also. So for that condition we use the operators. A is an attribute of a relation on which Ti ranges, and B is an attribute of a relation on which Tj ranges. That means if you are opting different variables for different attributes, then you have to write the comparison. You can use a comparison operator, or you have to give the name of the attributes in that relation. Okay, so this is a formula. So formula is with condition is made up of one or more atoms connected via logical expression and or not, and is recursively defined as following. So an atom is a formula where F1 and F2 are two formulas and they are joined by using the different conditions and or not. So the truth values of these components can be derived as, if F1 and F2 both are true, then it is true, otherwise false. If F1 or F2 is false, then both F1 and F2 are false, otherwise true. Not F1 is true if F1 is false and false otherwise. Not F2 is true if F2 is false, otherwise it's false. Same are those conditions as we have applied in and or not tables in computer architectures. Okay, the most important two terms are existential quantifiers and universal quantifiers, and free and bound tuple variables in the formula. So existential formula and universal quantifiers, what are these? These are the spatial symbols to tell that for every tuple you want to fetch, there exists some tuple, or for every tuple we are talking about. So for every tuple, if we are talking about that we have a specific condition that we want to fetch for every tuple, then we are using the universal quantifier. Universal quantifier states for all condition, and we are using the operator this, that is stands for all. So this symbol for all is called universal quantifier because it will fetch every tuple in a relation. So to make F true and make the quantifier formula true. Secondly, we are having the existential quantifiers. Existential quantifiers are those that for every relation they were checking about some particular rows that are available in the relation, so that they can fetch that particular row according to a given condition. So existential quantifiers are in the formula are symbolized by this, that stands for there exist, that makes some tuples in a relation so that the condition or formula becomes the true. Now, what are the free tuples and the bounded tuples in a variables in a formula? So, we can define a tuple variable in a formula as free and bound according to the rules. An occurrence of a tuple variable in the formula F, that is an atom, is free in F. And if there are it is free and bound in a formula is made up of logical connectivities F1 or F2 or not condition, depending upon whether it is free or bound in F1 and F2 if it occurs. That means if we are having there exist and free, see here, all free occurrences of a tuple variable T in F are bound in other formula F dash of the form F dash if there exist is there. That means if we are having anywhere there exist or for all condition, then they are known as bounded tuples. If we are not having any condition here, there exist or for all, then they are known as free variables. These are bounded variables and these are free variables. This is free and these are bounded variables. The tuple D is free in F1 because there is no condition applied here about any existential or universal quantifier. So, there in F2 and F3 we are having existential and universal quantifiers for that particular variable. So, they are bounded variables. Okay, let's see one example query here. Consider a relational database schema for a company. How we can retrieve the database through this? So we are having a relational database schema company in which we are having a employee, department location, works on, project, dependent. These are the relations in which we are having different attributes: first name, last name, employee number, date of birth, address, salary, department number, then department name, department number, manager number, starting date, manager starting date, then department number, department location, employee number, project number, odds depend upon the project, yes, depend on the project, project name, project number, project location, department number, employee number, employee having dependent name, date of birth, and the relation. Okay, so what we want to do, we are having different queries so that we can fetch that query from the database. So we are using tuple relational calculus query language here to fetch out the query or to fetch out the data from the database. So what we are first query we are having, retrieve the name and address of all employees who work on the research department, who work for the research department. So what we want, department and employee information. So because we are having employees who work for the research department, so we want two relation here, employee and department. So we are taking two relation. First one is employee, second one is department. Here we initialize the variable T for employee table, and here we are initializing variable D for department. Now what we want to retrieve from table employee, we want to retrieve the name and address. So we have put the variable here T.F name, T.L name. And what we want to retrieve from employee table, address. So T.address. From department table, we only have to put the condition. So there are some employees who work for the research department, not all employees work for the research department. So we have put a existential quantifier here, there exists a D tuple. For now we have to put the condition D dot department name is research and D dot department number is T dot department number. If we are having the same values, then we can fetch the data from the database. So we have put a condition for some checking, that D dot department number is T dot department number, that is for checking of the query, and we have put the condition that department name must be research. So it will give out all the employees names who works for the research department. Okay, now second one, for every project located in Chennai, list the project number, the controlling department number, department manager's last name, date of birth and address. It wants department number, department name and department manager last name. So employee table would be required. Then date of birth and address, again employee table would be required. Then it wants project number. So for project number, it wants project table also. So three tables must be required here: project, department and employee. First of all, check what are the different tables you require to fetch out the query. So here we identified that we require three tables. First one is employee, department and project. So we have taken, for project we have initialized variable P, then for employee we have taken variable M, and for department we have taken variable D. So for each project there are different employees who working in a particular department. So there exists a department D for which we are having employees. There exists some employees and there exists some project for every department. So what we are having condition, we are having three tables here: project and employee and department. And what is the condition now? Project location is Chennai. So P location is Chennai and project dot department number must be equal to department number of department. So we have put that query. Now again, the department manager number must be equal to the employee number, so that we can find out which employee is working in that particular department and which department number is allocated to that project number. So we have put the condition. Now what are the queries we want to, attributes we want to fetch? That is from project number, project table we have taken project number, department number, manager name, date of birth and address. Find the name of each employee who works on some projects controlled by the department number 5. So we want to fetch the name of employee who works on some project controlled by department number 5. So we want project table and works on table and employee table, so that we can find out who are working on that project. That means we are fetching works on and project and employee. Employees who are working on some project which are controlled by project. We are fetching 3 tables here. First one is employee E, then we are fetching project and works on. So here are employees who, where there exists a project and there exists works on that project. Some employees that work on that project, some employees that work on that project. So we have taken there exist, and what is the condition? X dot department number. For project we have taken X, so project the department number who are working on that project, so that is number 5. X dot department number is 5, and work dot employee number and E dot employee number must be same, and department ka project number and works on project number must be same. And we are fetching employee dot first name and employee dot last name, because we want to fetch only name from these tables. So we have taken from employee table, we are fetching E name and the first name and the last name. Now last, find the name of employees who have no dependents. So for no dependents, you are using the operator not. So E dot first name, E dot last name. From employee table, we have taken E. For department table, for all departments, we are finding from all departments, no dependents must there. So for dependent, we have taken D, and not E dot employee number must be equal to not the dependent number. So these are all the queries in tuple relational calculus. What are safe expressions? A safe expression in relational calculus is one that is guaranteed to yield a finite number of tuple as its result. Otherwise, the expression is called unsafe. That means whenever you are writing a query, and from that query you are able to find some tuples in your output, then that expression, that query is known as safe expression or safe query. Otherwise, it is known as unsafe query or unsafe. For example, if we want to find all employee that yield all the tuple in the universal that are not employee tuple, which are infinitely numerous. That means if we from employee table, we are finding how many are there which are not allocated to any department, any project, or who are not employees. So actually there does not exist any tuple in that particular table who are not employees, because we are maintaining an employee table. We are maintaining a table of employees who are working in that particular organization or department. That's why their name is allocated in that employee table. So this would be known as unsafe expression here. So this is all about your tuple relational calculus. In next video, we will discuss about domain relational calculus. Thank you.